The end of summer event is on at your Toyota dealer, meaning right now is the best time to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of, like an off-road ready 4Runner or a rugged Tacoma, both available with $1,000 cash back. Or go in an adventurous RAV4, the best-selling SUV in America, and get $1,500 cash back. Take $1,500 back on a stylish Corolla, or $2,000 back on a sporty new Camry. Or get $2,500 cash back on the rugged half-ton Tundra. You can even drive away in a spacious Highlander with enough room for the whole family right now with $1,000 cash back. Plus $500 bonus cash from Toyota. Shop for more great savings at Toyota's official website for deals. Buyatoyota.com. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Bonus cash must be applied toward down payment. Some offers may exclude CRD Pro models. See your dealer for details. The end of summer event is on at Toyota. So go see your dealer today. Offers end August 31st. Toyota.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey, buddy!
Yeah!
You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it!
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure. I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog of Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. A daytime high near 85. Your overnight low of 63 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Chance for showers and thunderstorms for your Saturday, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
In the year 1898, Marconi sent his first radio message across the English Channel.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence.
There's nothing wrong with being fun and popular and just giving people what they want.
This is not a radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
You seem happy this morning.
Is it Friday already?
Friday.
All I'm doing is getting on the air. The revolution will be broadcast.
How about Friday?
What's this?
Did you ever hear of a thing called radio?
Thank God it's wow!
It's showtime!
On air, online, on demand, and on video. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Holy cow, have we made it through to Friday already? Yeah, that's all right. It's good. Got a full show for you, though, before I can hang it up and head into the weekend. And here's what I got. We're going to continue our conversation about final disposition on those amends to be made by former Bishop Michael Bransfield. We'll get Hoppy Cutcherell's take on that coming up today here on the show. WVU opens its football season, but no fans will be in the stands. Newspaper editor John McCabe and I have our usual Friday roundtable discussion on the news of the week. We'll include the Bransfield story, of course, Wheeling's purchase of property on 19th Street, and the governor's color coding system. The DNC virtual convention is wrapping up. Biden officially accepted the nomination last night. Well, here's some of what he said, as well as other speakers. And today, bowlers want back in their lanes. Bad news comes with a smile in one case, and sexy face masks. I've got all of that in our COVID conversations. That's what I have to offer you. What do you have to offer me? Text line is open, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. Watchdog Radio Network text line, be sure to use it as you choose. Also, the CityNet hotline from time to time when we have time. You're welcome to use that as well at 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK. Going to start out a bit overcast during the day today, and probably much of the day will be cloudy, and it's going to be muggy as well. Daytime high around 84. Some rain coming in this evening. Right now, actually looking nice outside the studio, my home studio here. 61 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 61, and the sun is rising here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 61 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. So, Brother Biff, we made it through to Friday.
Yes, we did, and good Friday morning to you.
And to you as well, sir. How'd you hit him last night?
Pretty good last night. There was a crowd on the golf course. I think everybody had the same idea. Yesterday afternoon, it was a nice afternoon.
It was great golfing weather.
Yeah, it was, and I think everybody decided, well, we better go out and play golf. But you know, we knew it was crowded, so we said, hey, we're not going to be in any hurry. We got plenty of daylight, and we got out and we got finished. It was about 6:30 when we got finished, so it was nice. I played okay. I had a couple bad holes, but other than that, it wasn't too bad.
And the important question I always ask, what did you have for dinner?
We went to Generations as usual last night, and I had the Codzilla wrap.
Oh, okay, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's a good sandwich.
I had that with some chips to go with it. I like the chips at Generations. So
their chips are excellent. I would agree. I love their chips. You know, a lot of times they'll say, "Would you rather?" You know, well, it comes with chips. Would you rather have fries? No, I want the chips. I like those chips. And I also like to leave those chips around on the table when I'm eating. Sometimes they'll, I'm done with my meal, the sandwich is done or whatever, and they come to start to clean the plate away. Don't touch that. There are still some chips there. I'm nibbling it. So good. Well, it sounds like you had a good time. That's good. It was such a beautiful day. We got to go out on the deck and go out front yard. We had a lot of fun with Teddy outside playing around, and he went home last night as he usually does after his parents get done work and they come pick him and took him home. But then got a call, 8 o'clock or so. Granddad, I think I would like to come down and spend the night tonight. Okay with Granddad.
Did he check with Grandma?
Yeah, well, I checked with Grandma, and Grandma says, well, okay, then, as you all know, he's just a couple of doors down from us, and he walks down by himself if somebody's watching him, so Grandma says, okay, well, I'll get outside, and I'll just be waiting for you to come down. And he said, Grandma, it's a little dark out there. She said, okay, I will come down and pick you up. I will come down and walk you down to our house. So anyway, so a little one is, so we may hear him earlier than usual this morning because he's actually in the room next door. still sleeping, but if I get on too much of a rant, I'm liable to wake him up, which of course will create trouble in my life if I wake him up too early. So, speaking of waking up early, Biff, when you get to be my age, you have to get up in the middle of the night to take care of things occasionally, right?
Yeah.
The old prostate just didn't work right. I gotta get up and take a little pee. All right, so I do that usually a couple times during the night. So, middle of the night, I got up and took a little trip down the hallway. And when I came back, I always, just before I fall back asleep, I just grabbed my phone, took a look at it. Well, this is weird. I've got a couple of direct messages on Twitter. Somebody had actually not just tweeted at me, but somebody had sent me a personal message on Twitter overnight. That was kind of strange. So I looked to see, and here's what I saw. I just heard you say on the radio you haven't heard from our office about me being on your show. I didn't think you wanted me on your show. Come on, I've asked you to be on all the time, and you have refused. Be honest, my friend. This is me. You know me well enough to know I'm not afraid to go on your show. Let's work it out. Happy to discuss any issues. We have a hell of a record to defend. You know who that was from?
Patrick Morrissey?
It was indeed. It was indeed. So I sent him the overnight message back. I said, Patrick, first place, the last conversation I had, I sent a request to your office. I didn't. I guess what Patrick's telling me is he wants me to talk to him directly on Twitter. Don't go through the office. Okay, that's fine. But I always go through proper channels, so I sent a request to the office. It's been a month or so ago. And I specifically there were two things, and I can't remember what the first was, but I wanted to talk about the Obama lawsuit, the Obamacare lawsuit that he's supporting. And there's something else. And I said, I'd like to get Patrick on to talk about these two things and see if we can work. And I never heard back. I said, okay, well, I've made the request. What else am I going to do? I'm not going to beg. So maybe it got lost in the shuffle. I don't know. I'm not trying to, pick on anybody, but, anyway, so Patrick, here's what I think happened is I think he heard the interview with Sam Petzonk this week, who was running against Morrissey. And I think I did say that I tried to reach out to Morrissey and hadn't got him on, but I would like to get him on. So anyway, I told him, I said, hey, Monday, Tuesday next week, come on, we'll talk about things. I like it because this is me.
Well,
okay.
What's that say though when someone that's in a position as he is wants to do business through Twitter?
Well, the president does.
Well, I know the president does, but I mean it's kind of different when you're talking about someone that's in a state position. I mean, when your request for an interview basically has to be, apparently the only way you can get him is through Twitter and not email or a call or whatever. I mean, when you got to resort to that, what's that saying?
In fairness to Morrissey, I think probably he was trying to circumvent staff here, okay? Because I had said the staff didn't get through to you. So I think he was doing what he felt was the only direct way to get to me. I'm sure somewhere in his office they've got my phone, obviously, because I talk to the staff frequently. They've got my phone number and my email and all different ways to contact me. But I think Morrissey was just trying to make a personal appeal here, which is fine, which is good. I mean, I appreciate that. Seriously, I do. I really appreciate that. I like it. This is me. So, we'll try. Listen, I said this. I mean this. In first place, he's a candidate for office for re-election, and we've had his opposition on, and I want to have him on for fairness in the candidacy front. Plus, I want to have all points of view expressed. I want to do that. Certainly, I'm not afraid to talk to those with whom I disagree. Let's talk about Mac Warner. Running against Natalie Tennant. Natalie, an old friend of mine, former Secretary of State, running against Mac Warner. We've had Natalie on a number of times, but we've had Mac on many times as well. I'm happy to get different points of view on the air to the extent that I possibly can. So anyway, this is not in any way a criticism. I'm not criticizing Patrick Morrissey at all, not one little bit. I appreciate him reaching out, and I gave him a couple of dates for next week, so we'll see if it happens. But it's just kind of weird. Who am I getting? And it came in sometime after midnight, so he must have been doing some late night tweeting, I guess. So Patrick, we'll see if we can work that out. I put the ball back in his court, and I'm positive that I will hear something from him or from his team sometime over the course of the day today. In fact, let me just do a quick check of my DMs on Twitter. No response just yet. But it's early. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 when I sent that to him. 7:21 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Sun is rising in the Ohio Valley, at least here at my home studios. Pardon me. 61 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport and 61 here at the home studios. I love the way, if you know there's an old phrase, everything old is new again.
Yeah.
Except, you always have to come up with a new name for things. You got to call things something different, something that doesn't sound like it's just old-fashioned, right? So I was reading Axios, which is a great website that I read, a newsletter that I read about politics. And one of the writers, Kim Hart, who is an Axios writer, was talking about something called 15-minute, what'd she call them? 15-minute cities. 15-minute cities. There is a trend to 15-minute cities. She says one result of our sustained stay-at-home situation is a heightened interest in staying close to home even after the pandemic subsides. Enter the 15-minute city. And a little graphic there with 15 on it. The 15-minute city that centers around the idea that residents can meet most of their daily needs by walking or bicycling a short distance from their homes. Why it matters? Because strategically clustering food outlets, doctors' offices, schools, pharmacies, banks, smaller scale offices, and places for recreation in close proximity to the people who use them can shrink the deserts of essential services in distressed neighborhoods. End quote. And I got thinking, 15-minute cities. You got a little, few square blocks, and you got a restaurant, and you got a bar, and you got a barber shop, and you got a candy store, and maybe you got a couple of offices, and you got a school, and you got a pharmacy. 15-minute cities. It's a brand new trend. No! We used to just call them neighborhoods. We just used to call them neighborhoods. When I was a kid growing up, my neighborhood, we had Red's was the name of the little convenience type store that was at the end of my street. We had a florist at the end of the street. Within walking distance, there was a movie theater in Elm Grove before the interstate came through. There was a doctor's office, there was a movie theater, there were bars, there were restaurants, there were gas stations, and we lived with it. And if you needed to go anyplace, you could walk right there or get on your bike and go right there. We called them neighborhoods. Now they're 15-minute cities. I think it's a great idea. I mean, I'm a big believer in this, and we've been talking a lot about this in the city of Wheeling and our comprehensive plan and so on, trying to get back to the concept of neighborhoods really being neighborhoods again. But I just, you got to call it something clever anymore. We can't just say, hey, remember the days we used to have neighborhoods when you can go to the pharmacist and you can go to the drugstore and you can go to the doctor's office and you just walk there? Instead of that now, we call them neighborhoods. Now it's the 15-minute city. So I didn't know it, but I'm in support of 15-minute cities, if anybody's curious.
I can remember.
Everything old is new again.
I can remember growing up, we had the convenient on the island. There was a candy store, AJ's, that used to be where my grandmother lived. And we had the Minute Market, which was on the island as well.
Right.
And now all three of them, they're gone. We don't have them.
Yep.
But those.
Yep. Well, it is a sign of the times. I mean, what happened? And it happened actually. I used the defining line in my childhood as that moment that the interstate came through the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, really came through Wheeling in general, and it disrupted the neighborhood concept completely. It was really the creation of the interstate, Biff, and the ability then of people to more quickly get from one area to another, that we didn't have to worry about walking anymore. Again, I'm going to use my neighborhood, Elm Grove, as an example. Growing up, Elm Grove was a city into itself. Besides the things I mentioned, literally we had a movie theater, we had bars, we had restaurants, we had doctor's offices, we had a toy store within walking distance, we had a florist, we had grocery store. It was before there were big ones like Kroger. This was Buy Right, I think it was the store there. It was one of the first semi-supermarkets that was around. And then the interstate came through. Specifically came through our area and also came through much of America. And then instead of walking to your doctor, you could get in your car and get there quickly over the nice interstate highway. And we began to spread out. And that's what happened to Wheeling Island, a great example, Biffy. And really every community here in the Upper Ohio Valley. Some have retained their neighborhoodness a little bit better than others have. In the city of Wheeling, I think maybe Warwood is still a bit more of a neighborhood than others are. Maybe even to some extent Woodsdale, if you count National Road as it is part of Woodsdale, but so there's a lot of activity on National Road. So I just think, but I think it's a great idea. I mean, I think we should get back to neighborhoods. I loved that idea, Biffy. And as a kid, you were able to do it. I was able to do it. We could walk to the store, pick up a bag of chips, RC Cola, and a bag of potato chips. Oh, baby, that was the best. Gardner's Grocery at the top of the street. We could walk there. That was the fun time. And you could walk everywhere. And you had, I'm just thinking out loud here. We had churches, multiple churches within walking distance. So whatever your denomination was, you may want to attend it. In my neighborhood, we had the Jewish temple was not, and that was out in Woodsdale, of course. But other than Jewish church, we had Methodist, Baptist, Presbyterian, Catholic churches, all within literally half a block of each other in some cases.
It's amazing.
15-minute cities, we call them now.
It's amazing now. If you were, I'll use the island again as an example. If you moved and say you've been away from the area, I don't know, for like maybe 15, 20 years, and you come back, you would want to cry because you wouldn't recognize the island now. I mean, it's nothing but empty lots, and that's it. And some places have weeds and stuff that are growing out of them like crazy that look like jungles, but that's pretty much what the island has come to now.
Yeah, the island is a good example of not just change, but deterioration as well. Now, please, if you're on the island, there are still some wonderful parts of Wheeling Island, still some nice homes, nice neighborhoods, and so on, nice neighborhood sections. But it isn't what it was once upon a time, and you certainly can speak to that, Biffy. It's not the great place to grow up and run around and play and ride your bike and so on that it was once upon a time. Lots of, as you point out, empty lots, weeds, cars with no tires parked in the backyard. Some of those wonderful old homes that are falling apart now. Once upon a time, they were almost mansions. Now they're dilapidated and falling apart. And it's going to be hard to reinvigorate areas like that as a neighborhood. Other parts of the city of Wheeling, again, to one extent or another, many of them have maintained a little semblance of the concept of a neighborhood. There are a few businesses in certain areas. There are, there's residential and then, fast food or a bar or a few things, but it's just not the way it used to be. And I think it'd be a great idea if we did. I think it'd be wonderful to get back to that concept of neighborhoods. Or, again, I must use the contemporary term now, we must get back to being 15-minute cities. Everything within 15 minutes. Wouldn't that be nice? Heck, maybe I'd get my bike out and ride it. No.
Well,
No.
It's the thought that counts.
But nonetheless, it's a good idea. Let's see. Quick off the text line here at 304-214-1600. Yeah, we had neighborhoods until there was a Walmart. Well, that's a good point. I mean, it's the old chicken or egg thing. I think the Walmarts came because, again, I don't think we can overstate the importance of the interstate highway system and how it changed our culture completely. Instead of being individual pockets of neighborhoods and people all throughout our city, and I'm just picking Wheeling here, but it's true of every city in the Ohio Valley, we became a much more regional thing because you could drive now. And yes, as part of that, the neighborhood businesses began to dry up, and that's what allowed the Walmartization of America to occur. So your point is well taken. I think Walmart was a response to the cultural changes brought about by the interstate highway system. It was not what caused us to lose neighborhoods. Neighborhoods were diminishing, and Walmart stepped in and said, "We will fill the bill." So I think that's a pretty good perspective that our listener here. Mr. Monroe.
Uh-oh.
You have to address the lame... I'm not going to get into this too, but we had a Wheeling Planning Commission zoning committee meeting yesterday. Mr. Monroe, you have to address that lame subcommittee meeting yesterday. I was watching your reactions when the video or audio connections are going in and out. LOL, what were your thoughts? Yeah, we had just a terrible time. It was if you've ever seen like Saturday Night Live could not have done a better parody of a bad Zoom meeting. We had members of the Planning Commission. We had the subcommittee members like myself. We had the attorney for the applicant was there. Our city hall officials were there. And first the attorney got lost. His internet went down, and we just sat around. Well, we'll just wait. Is he coming back? Hello? You know, we're all shouting at the screen. Hello, are you there? No, I don't think he's there. Okay, all right. He comes back on. Then our chairman, Mr. Mock, suddenly he's talking, and all of a sudden, he freezes up. And then he disappears. and our assistant director of the planning department, Tom Conley, is going, disconnect your video. Just use your audio. That'll work. Mr. Mock, disconnect your videos. Again, Saturday Night Live could not have done them. It's another perfect example of what happens when you live by technology, you die by technology. Now we finally got it all put together. We finally got the committee meeting held, and we finally had a vote and so on. At one point, the chairman said, if I don't come back anymore, Mr. West, you'll be in charge of the meeting. What was I thinking? According to the texter wants to know. I just thought it was hilarious. This happens. We Zoom so much. I had 2 Zoom meetings yesterday. I actually use Zoom to get my out of the house to the station these days. So it's not a Zoom meeting, but it's a Zoom picture that you're watching this morning if you're watching on Facebook Live or on YouTube. And I got a Zoom meeting today at 10:30. We do doctor's offices anymore by Zoom and that kind of stuff. Live by technology, though, and die by technology. If something goes wrong, it goes terribly wrong. And clearly this texter was watching because when we have a virtual meeting as a government entity, we have to open it up to the public, so we put it on Facebook Live. The meetings cannot be held in private without the public being allowed to watch, so we put them on Facebook Live. So I guess some of you were watching that. Yeah, it was pretty lame. It was lame. That's nobody's fault.
It happens.
This is that Saturday Night Live couldn't have made a better parody of a bad Zoom meeting.
It happens.
It does. It does.
And sometimes you just have to laugh. That's all.
Well, that's all you can do. Listen, Biffy, you and I know this better than most of our listeners. We are sometimes just the victims of our own technology.
Yes, we are.
Biff and I was, two days ago, Biff and I are just talking. All of a sudden, Biff is up there going, hello, Howard, hello. Lost my connection to the station. Biff puts a few commercials on. We do a few odds and ends until we figure out how to fix it again. Nobody understands the concept of technology that runs afoul than we do. It happens. Roll with the punches. All right, I'm way behind time. I wanted to do a whole segment on Bransfield and some of the reaction to Bishop Bransfield and to the story we talked about yesterday, the amends that have now been ordered Bishop Bransfield to make, and the apology letter that he issued. I'm going to talk to Hoppy Kirchhoff about that coming up in the next hour of the show, so I guess I'll let that go. I wanted to do this here at the beginning of the program, but I'm not going to really have time to get into that right now. So what I do want to get into are some headlines from our friends at the Big 7. Billy's got sports for us. We've got Zach having the Ohio Valley forecast. And a few other odds and ends are coming up. We are the Watchdog Morning Show. Glad you're here on a Friday morning for the end of the week. And I'm not, it's been a good week. I'm not like, oh, I can hardly wait for the week to end. But I got to tell you, I'm thinking at 10 o'clock, I'm going to feel pretty good. The weekend is here. I hope you are going to at least stick with us through until 10. Let's check the news desk right now.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX. The Watchdog.
Good Friday morning, Ohio Valley. Taylor Long here with your 7 News headlines on this August.
You're probably right. You're probably right. They do. Yep. All right. Hoppy, we'll call Hoppy at, the 8:15 segment. Might get him a bit earlier, but somewhere around there.
With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Doan Ford has served their valued customers for over 50 years with superior sales and service, and that's why they say, for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, check Doan Ford. For experienced, low-pressure sales, check Doan Ford. For fast, easy auto financing, check Doan Ford. Located at exit 208 off of I-70. And that's why you should say,
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Managing your business can be a minefield. One step in the wrong direction, and it can feel like everything you've worked for is at risk. I always had a vision of building a team, a crew of true professionals that can handle it all, tax, insurance, and investments. Big enough to partner with Encova, but
I did, yes, Yep. Oh, okay. Yep. Did you do Bill? Did we get Bill in or not? Okay. Okay. I mean, we can do him afterwards. I just need to know if I need to do him later. You're going to get him in before Zach? Okay, that's fine. And then Zach. Okay.
Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
Again, the Cleveland Indians beat the Pirates. This time the Indians shut out Pittsburgh 2-0 behind the pitching of Shane Bieber. Bieber struck out 11 Pirates to improve to 5-0. Yes, he has more wins than the Pittsburgh Pirate team. The Pirates dropped to 4-17. Cleveland now
I was going to. That is no longer true, but I saw a stat a couple of days ago. I forget who it is. You probably know who it is. The Pirates are 4.5 games back on a team that's only played 5 games to begin with. So, the Cardinals, there you go. I mean, just...
safe out there, thoughtful and considerate of others. Please check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio, and I always like reminding you that we are the Watchdog.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talk Line. I love guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, and all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
You can tune in to Hoppy Kercheval on this show coming up after the 8 o'clock news break. Hoppy and I are going to talk about the Bishop Bransfield story, which we spent a good bit of time on yesterday, and we'll spend some more time on it today, so we'll be talking about that. Coming up today on Statewide Talk Line, Hoppy will be talking about the WVU football. Tony Caridi will be in to talk about that. Brad McElhenney will be talking about the Bransfield story with Hoppy. Let's see what else is going on Hoppy's show today. Oh, it's a Friday. I forgot. It's Steam Release. We're in the final half hour of the show on Talk Line. You can call in uninterrupted by the host and let it go, let it out, let's just get your frustrations out by offering your steam release to wrap up Kercheval today from 10 until noon. Let us release the steam of Zach this morning from the Big 7, WTRF TV. Zach is here. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Howard. How are you today?
I'm good. It was a good day yesterday, but I'm looking at your forecast this morning. It looks like this will be more of a traditional, if we were beginning to kind of aim towards fall for the last couple of days, looks like today is going to be more of a traditional summery kind of forecast, right?
Yeah, it feels like we're reverting back to July whenever I was going through some of the full weather explainers this finally Friday. Just kind of it's feeling muggy outside. The dew point values aren't too bad right now, but if you head down into Tyler and Wetzel County, we're seeing dew points back into the low to mid 60s, and I expect those dew points in the muggy air mass to continue to rise south to north as we head into the afternoon, giving us the chance of some afternoon and evening type showers and possible rumbles of thunder. Again, they're going to be very isolated in terms of coverage today, so not everyone will be receiving some of those pop-up showers, but again, the ingredients are there for today with expected highs back into the mid 80s today.
Looking out the window of the kitchen here at my home studios, the sun's starting to rise. I'm seeing the sun outside, but we're going to see more clouds coming in as the day goes on. Is that right?
That is 100% correct. I'm expecting to see clouds filtering in some sunlight as we head into the late morning, but clouds thickening as we head into the afternoon. And again, those clouds could drop a shower or two, maybe even boil up a thunderstorm. But again, coverage is going to be very isolated, so not everyone's going to receive rain. Even though much of the area needs some, looking at that drought monitor, still portions of Ohio, Hancock, Brooke, and Marshall County, and then into southeastern Ohio are still in moderate, if not abnormally dry conditions. So all the chances, again, for rain showers this weekend, again, they're going to be the shower-type activity. Hit or miss, not everyone's receiving it. I'm not expecting much in terms of any change in that drought monitor, unfortunately. I wish I could have good news, but I don't have that in terms of soaping or sogging the grounds, if I want to say it. Can't say it this morning.
I wish we'd see some. We don't grow anything. We don't have like a garden or anything, but my grass is getting brown, and let me rephrase that. The crap that I have in my yard, which isn't really grass, whatever it is, it's out there just growing, and I think it needs watered a little bit, and it just, I could use a good soaking rain maybe to help it, but hopefully we'll get that. But we're going to see both Saturday and Sunday, at least cloudy and probably a little bit of rain both days, yeah?
Yep, both days, and again, it just looks like it's in the afternoon, so if you have morning activities planned, let's say up until lunch on both Saturday and Sunday, it looks good. No rain expected, but as you build into the afternoon and early evening, the ingredients are there for the pop-up type showers, and I do expect to see most or some of the area to receive some rain from those pop-up showers on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, once we get through it, what do we look forward to as the week starts off next week?
Well, again, looking at things long-term into the next work week, I'm expecting to see a warm-up again. I'm expecting to see highs back into the upper 80s, if not low 90s in some parts across the Ohio Valley. Again, like we were just talking about, it feels like we're reverting back to mid-July with the mugginess and those higher temperatures and the afternoon-type showers. And while the temperatures are certainly going to feel mid-summer-like with upper 80s and low 90s expected next week. Not what we're looking for whenever we're 32 days away from fall. It just kind of feels like the dog days of summer, to be honest with you.
Well, I said at the beginning of the week, I said we're going to see more summer, but for a couple of days there, you could kind of feel that fall was reminding us it's coming. And that's what we saw. We had a couple of, they weren't fall-like days, but they were days reminding us that the weather was going to moderate and we're going to start getting a little closer to fall. But now we're back, going to be back for a while into a muggy and rainy and cloudy and, dog days of summer for sure. But we'll live with it. We'll live with it. 60, what did I check? 61, I think I saw last at the airport. Am I right about that?
Yep, 61 out at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. You are correct.
And I've got 61 degrees here at my home studio in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling as well. And as I mentioned, at least looking out the window right now, the sun's kind of rising in the sky, and I can see it. So it gives me some hope. Yep. What's your big plans for the weekend, Zach? Anything exciting?
I'm actually heading home. Today's my mom's birthday, so I'm going to head home.
Well, happy birthday to her.
Yeah, thank you. I'll pass that along to her. But just kind of hanging home, and then possibly just coming back up to the back home to, I guess, Wheeling area tomorrow. Got to get some groceries. I haven't gone grocery shopping in 2 weeks, and the refrigerator is definitely lacking in the food department. So I kind of scraped by the last 2 weeks. I normally buy a bunch of bulk items, and then kind of, depending upon what I'm in the mood to make whatever and have enough to have lunch the next day. But we were definitely scraping through yesterday as well as Wednesday for food. So definitely going to need to go grocery shopping this weekend, and might drop off the suits to get dry cleaned. That's my plan.
Now, when you say make food, do you cook, or when you say make food, is it like me, boil a hot dog and make a sandwich? I mean, do you actually do some cooking?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm making everything from scratch. I'll be making stir fries and omelets, different types of baked chickens, and if I'm in the mood for a burger, maybe make a burger in the apartment. But definitely, like, one of my favorite meals is this chicken Alfredo that I make. So I make my own Alfredo. I don't have the Italian heritage, so I'm not fancy enough to make my own pasta. But I have a few friends who actually have given me pasta recipes, so I might get adventurous and make pasta one day. But make the own sauce, season the chicken, grill it, and put it in the oven to continue baking. Or if it all kind of depends on the mood. But I definitely eat well. I'm not your typical fresh out of college student who's passing it by on eating the macaroni and cheese and the ramen noodles. I definitely eats a little more luxuriously than others.
My kind of guy. Eating well is important. I agree with you. So
I agree.
That's great. That's great. Well, have a safe trip if you're heading home, and enjoy your grocery shopping. And we'll talk to you again on Monday.
All right, sounds good. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thanks. You too, Zach. All right. So that's interesting because normally, Biff, when I think of a new kid coming to town, just out of college, first job, apartment, all that kind of stuff, I tend to think of, as he said, some shelves full of ramen noodles and maybe some bologna and, bread. You know what I'm talking about? Just that's the image that I have.
Yeah, just stuff that's real easy to put together that you can throw in the microwave or something like that.
Yeah, it's nice to. I think it's great when someone can cook. In all seriousness, I wish I could cook. I can't cook. When my wife and I first got married, I played a little bit in the kitchen. I would do some breakfast. I had a couple of breakfast items I would make, and I even had a breakfast recipe book, and I tried things, but it's just not me. It's just not me. All the cooking's done by my wife, and thank God it is, because she does a good job of it, and I don't do so good a job. She made some great chicken last night. And we had just some chicken and rice and corn on the cob, actually off the cob, but fresh corn from Ebert's Market over in St. Clairsville. Can't do any better than that. Good fresh corn from Ebert's. So it was a nice little meal at home. My wife, just the chicken she cooked was extremely good, and so it was a nice meal. 8 before the hour, 61 degrees. Watchdog morning show underway. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, McCabe and I will kick around the Ohio Valley news of the week. We'll talk a bit about Wheeling Council's decision to buy that 19th Street property. Not unexpected, it was expected, and we'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about the governor's color coding system, and we'll talk about the Bishop Bransfield story, which has been, I think, the big story of the week this week. Hoppy Kercheval will join me in the next hour, and Hoppy and I will talk about Bransfield as well. But Biffy, let's talk about the Pirates. Indians swept them, is that right?
I believe they have one more game today.
Okay.
But if they do win it, it will be a sweep, yes.
I saw someone posting on Twitter this morning, this could be the worst Pirates team ever. Now, it's hard to assess because we're in the pandemic year, but it certainly seems to me like that's not far off. It could be the worst team ever.
I'll tell you how bad they actually are, and if you didn't catch Bill's little stat there, the pitcher for the Indians last night was Shane Bieber, who was undefeated going into last night's game, and his earned run average was like 1.3 or 1.5 or something, and he ended up shutting the Pirates out last night. I think he pitched 6 innings, and he shut him out, but he ended up getting the win last night, so you're thinking, well, what's the big deal about that? Bieber's record on the year for the Indians is 5-0. The record for the Pirates is 4-16. Shane Bieber has more wins than the whole Pirates team.
Oh, God help us.
There's your Pittsburgh Pirates, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh, boy. Hey, at least they're playing ball. Mets had a couple of their games postponed after some more positive coronavirus tests yesterday. So two games of the Mets have to be postponed because of coronavirus. So that's still sticking around. I thought in the beginning of the shortened season when the Marlins had their little bout, and then who was it that was contaminated by the Marlins? The Cardinals?
Yeah, the Cardinals. It was the Marlins and the Cardinals pretty much at the same time. Yeah.
Right, and I began to think at that time that, oh boy, maybe it's not going to, maybe the Major League Baseball is not going to be able to hold on through their season. But There haven't been a whole lot of additional problems. Again, Mets canceled 2 games now because of coronavirus, but I'm beginning to think now they'll probably manage to get through the season. Shortened season such as it is. I'm pretty sure, by the way, if you go to FanDuel and you want to place a bet on the World Series, are they going to have a World Series?
Yeah, as long as everything is okay, and even though they don't decide to shut the season down, they plan on having the playoffs in the World Series.
Okay. Well, if you go to FanDuel and you want to really play some long odds, I haven't checked this out, Biffy. Maybe we should check it out, but I'm making a guess. If you want to go to FanDuel and play some long odds, take a bet on the Pirates winning the series. You want to take some long odds. I'm guessing those are pretty long odds for you to take. You know, whether you're betting on Major League Baseball, whether you're betting on the NHL or the NBA or the upcoming NFL, FanDuel Sportsbook has all kinds of ways for you to bet, all kinds of ways for you to win, and all kinds of ways for you to have fun. For example, if you're following the NBA playoffs right now, they've got a deal where new users get special odds that any team will make the NBA Finals. So you pick any team, bet $10, and you win $200 if the team you pick makes it. Now, the offer's available even on the favorites like the Bucks or the Lakers. Whatever you choose, you can bet but put down 10, get 200 if you are right. And then if you are right and you do get the 200 or whatever you get, FanDuel will get the money to you quickly because that's one of the hallmarks of the FanDuel Sportsbook app. They get your money to you, put it back into your account within around 24 hours or so, and that is not the case with all of the sportsbook apps. So it's why FanDuel is among the number 1 sports apps in the country. Other reasons are it's intuitive, it's easy to use. They've got those nice drop-down menus that make it easy for you to figure out what to do. If you're new to online wagering, you can do that. They've got all different kinds of bets. All different kinds of promotions too. We talk from, different ones every week. We kind of give you a different promotion they're working on, but go to the website or go to your app and they got all kinds of options for you on FanDuel. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure to use my name, Monroe, and the promo code MONROE, and then you can take advantage of this special NBA deal that I was talking about here. Now, I need to tell you, you must be 21 or older. You must be physically present in West Virginia. The special deals that I talk about here on the show are for new users only. You must wager on designated boost markets. The maximum bonus in this case is $200. And if you want to check all the details, the terms, the information, the disclosures are there at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Now, have fun with it. I say this every time we do a FanDuel commercial. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Most people love to play, love to bet, and it's fine. Most people have a good time, and it's just recreation. It's nothing more than just a little bit of added incentive to pay attention to a game. But if you are among those who can't gamble, please don't. Please don't. And please do call 1-800-GAMBLER.net, 1-800-GAMBLER, or go to 1-800-GAMBLER.net. FanDuel Sportsbook, more ways to win. Kirchhoff and I will kick around the Bransfield story coming up in the next hour, plus a visit to the DNC's virtual convention last night, all coming up.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Works in the skies over Wilmington.
What's wrong? Did I do something wrong? Oh, okay. Well, what is it? Okay. We got to make sure we got to talk about that when we come back. That's for sure. We'll do that when we come back. All All righty then. We'll do that first, the Pirates, and then I'm going to talk about Bransfield a few minutes, and while I'm talking about him, you can get Hoppy on the line. 30,000 to 1. Yikes. That would be it. Yes, that would be it. Okie dokie. Well, as I said, you want to bet a long shot. All right, we'll start with that when we come back, like I said. Then I'm going to talk about Bransfield for a minute or two. And while I'm talking about him, you can bring Hoppy on. Let me know when he's on, then I'll just swing him into the conversation. All right. I need to go get another can of Dr. Pepper. I'll be back in a minute.